Hey there, this is Dave with OC Astronomy, and I wanted to show you a little something that I really enjoy. I just got it in the mail today. I've had this spotting scope for a while, and it is excellent. It's so easy to take it out there. It's got ED glass on it. It's beautiful. It has a let's see, it's the Endeavor HD82. Got a nice rubber eye cup here. It has really generous eye relief and a zoom lens. And one of these can be had fairly inexpensively, $350 to $500 in that range. And they make for a great little alternative if you're wondering if you should get a telescope. If you like to do other things besides just looking at stars, you could really consider this as an option. But one of the pitfalls of using a spotting scope as a telescope has been a finder, or lack of a finder. And enter, hashtag not sponsored, the SkySurfer 3 from Baader Planetarium, or Baader, however you pronounce it. And it is a red dot finder. First off, it's pretty high class. It's not like some of the typical BB gun type red dot finders. And if you've had red dot finders, you know what I mean by BB gun red dot finder. This one has got a nice view. There's my red dot there. And it's kind of sheltered from the ambient light by these nice screens here. And you get a nice generous bright red dot. And you get a assortment of shoes for it. So there's a lot of different ones you could use. However, this one is the one I'm using. Just one second. I'll show you how it lines up here. Right there is how the shoe lines up, and it is magical. Give me just a second. I'll be right back. So this is how it attaches. You put a screw through your shoe. Hey, that kind of rhymes. I must be a rapper. And it goes through this little plastic piece, and it sandwiches in between the, make sure you can see it really good there. It sandwiches in between the shoe and your finder. I mean, the base of your guide scope. And so what it does, it just puts it off to the side and lets you mount it there. And then you have your right-left adjustment there, and your up and down adjustment there, and your brightness knob is tucked away on the inside there. I have it turned off right now, don't worry. But that is a wonderful little thing, and then you can mount it on there. One note, you might have to remove that. I put in a quarter 20 screw that was longer than what the original was, because it had to go through that extra layer of plastic that's sandwiched in there. And the first one I put on there actually pulled out two of the threads on the base of my foot there. And so I had to go with a longer one to make sure that I get enough threads in there that it wouldn't strip it. And so I had to pull that one off there. Now, there's something interesting here too. On the bottom of the shoe, you notice it says lens that way or lens that way. That's if you're using a camera. Because the way that it mounts on there, let's see if I can do it one-handed. There we go. Clickety-clackety, schmackety-wackety. And it goes in there. Now, normally, if you follow the directions, your lens would be pointing this way off of this bracket. This is a Manfrotto tripod, but I really suggest getting a nice sturdy tripod. And normally that would let you control this knob from the back here and aim your camera lens. But with a telescope, you'll find out something pretty quick. If you do that, you'll notice this is the limit of upward travel that's completely loose. And if this was the way your telescope was pointing, that's the furthest up you would ever see. And you couldn't reach anything higher up. So you have to flip it on a tripod and mount it there. And if I let this go over now, then you'll see I can reach all the way up. Now, granted, my eyepiece is down there, so I'd have to raise the level up. But you get the idea on this type of a ball head. Now, there are other types that are probably pretty good for astronomy. But if you have a standard kind of tripod, then that's what you're going to get. Now, I tend to do, I let this one be loose, and then I aim at the stars with that one, and then just kind of follow an alt-azimuth thing. You could conceivably do something with this, and maybe you could polar align this axis and put another ball head type on here, and then use this as a right ascension sort of. And I've seen that done, but that puts the foot up here, and then you have an extra piece in here that lets you do that. And usually it's a 360 degree ball head. But I found that I like this better. I think it's more stable. Your weight is still over the center instead of your center of mass hanging off here. Your weight's on this. And if you have a tripod, come on, you're not going to motorize it and do anything with right ascension. So you're going to be doing some manual work anyway. I think this is more stable as an approach. But anyway, that is how you can use a red dot finder. I want to see it again. Let's see what we got. There we go. I have it a little bit faint. Crank up the brightness level and point it somewhere dark. There we go. So there's your red dot finder now. And once you get it centered to the scope, you'll be good to go. Now that solves the solution, or solves the problem of using a spotting scope as a telescope in a very elegant manner. And I think it was only about 50 bucks. So, hey, that's excellent. Now, it's no, refractor. It's not purpose built for astronomy. So you don't have some of the perks of that. But in my opinion, I like this better if you're just going to grab it and go. It's waterproof, fog-proof, and for my mind, that translates as student-proof. So none of my students are going to wreck it. Also, it has a fine adjust and a coarse adjust focus, and it has a zoom lens on there. So it takes care of everything in one small little package. So I enjoy using a spotting scope instead of all the time dragging out a little refractor. I'm going to probably put this to good use. So thank you, Baader Planetarium, for letting me buy your beautiful little, what is it called again? There you go, the SkySurfer 3 red dot finder.